Eliminate every coyote working your property in a single night. And the best part is not one deer, not one turkey, not one thing you care about is going to be touched in the process. Sounds like it can't be done. It absolutely can. And once you see how this system works, you are never going to let coyotes run your property unchecked again. Let's go. All right, guys. I want to start this video with something that happened to me a few seasons back, and it still makes me sick to think about it. I had a doe on my property that I had been watching all summer. Had two fawns with her. I had them on trail camera probably 20 times over the course of about 6 weeks. Watched those fawns grow. They were healthy. They were doing great. And then one morning in late July, I pulled my SD card and I found what I was not expecting to find. 3 coyotes had hit that area in the middle of the night, and those fawns were never on camera again. Not once. Not a single time after that night. Now, I am not telling you that story to be dramatic. I'm telling you that story because it is happening on your property right now, whether you know it or not. Coyote populations across this country have exploded. The U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates there are somewhere between 4 and 5 million coyotes in the United States, and that number is growing. They've adapted to every environment on this continent: suburban backyards, farmland, deep timber, river bottoms. They are everywhere. And if you have deer on your property, if you have turkeys on your property, if you are managing a hunting property and you are not actively managing your coyote population, you are losing animals. You are losing fawns. You are losing turkey poults. You are losing the investment you are making every single season. So today, I'm going to show you the system I use to eliminate coyotes from my property in a single night. Not slow them down, not run them off temporarily, eliminate them. And I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up so that the deer and turkeys and everything else you care about walks through without a scratch. Let's go. Before I show you the system, I need you to understand something about coyotes that most hunters get wrong. And this is important because if you don't understand how coyotes operate, you are going to keep doing what most people do, which is shoot one here and there and wonder why your numbers never go down. Coyotes are not solitary. They are territorial pack animals, and they work a territory on a rotation. They will cover the same ground on a predictable schedule, hitting the same travel corridors, the same food sources, the same bedding edges, over and over again in a pattern that can be remarkably consistent. That is your advantage. Because once you know their pattern, once you know where they are moving and when, you can set up ahead of them and be ready. The other thing you need to know about coyotes is that they communicate constantly. They are one of the most vocal animals in North America. And that vocalization is not random. It is functional. They use it to locate each other, to establish territory, to signal danger, and to call in other members of the pack to a food source. That communication system is also your advantage, because you can use it against them. Here is the system. 3 components: electronic call, properly placed; decoy, properly placed; and stand setup that keeps you out of their nose. That is it. 3 things. And when they work together the right way, you can bring multiple coyotes in and eliminate them in a single stand. I have called in as many as 4 coyotes in one night using exactly this system. Let me break each one down. Component 1. The electronic call. Now I know some of you are old school and you prefer mouth calls. And I respect that. Mouth calls work, and there is a real skill to using them effectively. But for this system, for eliminating multiple animals in one night, an electronic call is going to give you a significant advantage. Here is why. An electronic call allows you to set the sound source away from your position. This matters more than almost anything else when you are calling coyotes. Coyotes that have been called to before, pressured coyotes, smart coyotes, they are going to come in looking for the source of the sound. They want to locate what is making that noise before they commit. If the sound is coming from where you are sitting, they are going to find you. If the sound is coming from a call sitting 30 yards in front of you, they are going to focus on that call and give you the shot. The sounds you want to load on that call for a single night elimination session. Start with a prey distress. Cottontail rabbit distress is the single most effective all-around coyote call sound on Earth. It is aggressive, it carries a long distance, and it triggers the feeding instinct in any coyote within earshot. Run it for about 2 minutes to open the stand, then go silent for 3 to 4 minutes. Let them come, let them work toward you, then hit it again for another minute, then silence again. If you do not get a response to prey distress in the first 15 minutes, switch to a coyote pup distress. This is a different trigger. Where prey distress hits the feeding instinct, pup distress hits the protective instinct in the adult animals. You will pull in dogs and females that would not have responded to the rabbit. I have had stands where nothing came to prey distress for 20 minutes, and then a female came in at a dead run inside of 2 minutes when I switched to pup distress. It is that effective. The third sound to have loaded is coyote howls, not for calling them in, for locating them. Before you ever start a stand, before you ever turn on that prey distress, do a series of locating howls. Long, slow, mournful howls. If there are coyotes in that area, a lot of times they will answer back. And when they answer back, you know exactly where they are and how far out they are. That is gold. That tells you whether to wait and let them come or whether to get aggressive with the calling. Component 2. The decoy. And this is the piece that most hunters skip. Big mistake. Here is what a decoy does that the call alone cannot do. It gives the coyote something to look at when it gets close. A coyote coming in hot on a call is using every sense it has. It hears the sound, it scents the wind, and it is looking hard for visual confirmation of what it is hearing. If there is nothing to see, a lot of coyotes will hang up at 50, 60, 70 yards and try to figure out what is going on before they commit. And a coyote hanging up at 70 yards in low light is a very hard shot. Put a rabbit decoy or a small dying animal decoy right next to your call, something with movement if you can get it. There are decoys on the market with battery-powered tails or wings that flutter in the wind. They cost about $20 to $30, and they are absolutely worth it. When that coyote comes in and locks onto that decoy moving around by your call, it is going to commit. It is going to close the distance. It is going to give you a clean shot inside of 50 yards. That is what the decoy does. It seals the deal. Component 3, stand setup. And this is where the deer safety piece comes in because I know that is on your mind. Here is how you keep deer out of your setup. First, wind. Always, always, always set up with the wind in your favor. Coyotes are going to approach from downwind if they have any time to work the approach. You want to be set up so that your scent stream is going away from their approach route, not into it. If the wind is wrong, pick a different stand location. This is not optional. Second, timing. Coyote hunting is most productive from about an hour before dark through about 2 or 3 in the morning. This is when coyotes are most active. This is also when deer movement slows down significantly after legal shooting hours. You are setting up to run stands after dark in most cases. Deer are moving at dusk, yes, but your main calling activity is going to be in full dark when deer are mostly bedded. So the overlap is minimal. Third, shot selection. You are going to be shooting at a target that has been drawn in by your call and your decoy and is focused on that call and decoy. The shot angles you are going to see are going to be straightforward. A predator light, red or green, mounted on your rifle or positioned near your stand is going to let you clearly identify your target before you squeeze that trigger. You do not take a shot unless you can clearly see what you are shooting. That is just common sense, and it is how you make sure you are shooting coyotes and not something else in the dark. Now let me tell you something that a lot of coyote hunting videos will not tell you. Your first night running this system on a piece of property is not necessarily going to be your most productive night. And here is why. If there are coyotes actively working your property, your first stand is going to call something in. But once you shoot, the other animals in that pack are going to go on alert. They are going to clear out of the immediate area. They may be quiet for a day or two, and then they are going to come back, because it is their territory. And when they come back, they are going to be a little more cautious. That is when you run the system again. Same location or nearby, same sounds, same setup, and you will call them back in, because their territorial instinct is stronger than their caution, every time. I have had coyotes come back to the same stand location 3 nights in a row after I shot a packmate the night before. They cannot help it. It is their territory, and they are going to defend it. The other thing I want to address is what to do with the coyotes you take. Check your state regulations, first and foremost, because coyote regulations do vary. In most states, coyotes are not protected and can be taken year-round without a bag limit, but check before you go out. Some states have specific night hunting rules. Know your regulations and follow them. That is non-negotiable. Now here is something people ask me all the time. Does running a coyote elimination program actually improve your deer hunting? And the answer is yes. Documented yes. A study conducted over several years in the Southeast showed that intensive coyote removal during fawn drop period, which is roughly May through July, resulted in fawn survival rates that were 2 to 3 times higher than properties without predator management. 2 to 3 times. That means if your property is typically producing 10 fawns a year and you are losing 6 of them to coyotes, a solid predator management program can turn that into 8 or 9 survivors. Over 5 or 10 years of hunting that property, you are looking at a fundamentally different deer herd. More deer on the ground, more mature bucks reaching their potential, better hunting. And it is not just fawns. Turkey nesting success is directly impacted by coyote pressure. Coyotes will raid turkey nests, they will take turkey poults through the first few weeks of life, and they will absolutely run breeding turkeys off a piece of property entirely. If you are putting time and money into food plots and habitat work and mineral programs trying to hold deer and turkeys on your land, and you are not managing your coyote population, you are leaving half of that investment on the table. Let me give you the full night setup one more time from start to finish so you can go out and run this tonight. Get to your location an hour before dark. Do a full wind check before you commit to your spot. Set your electronic call-out 25 to 30 yards in front of your shooting position. Place your decoy right next to the call, on the downwind side of the call, so a coyote approaching from downwind will see the decoy before it gets your scent. Get settled in. Get still. Do your locating howls and wait. If you get a response, great. If you do not, that is fine. Start your prey distress sequence, 2 minutes on, 4 minutes off, 2 minutes on. If nothing shows in the first 20 minutes, switch to pup distress. Run the same sequence. If nothing in another 15 minutes, pick up and move to your next stand. Never spend more than 45 minutes on a stand that is not producing. Coyotes that are there will come in within that window. If they are not coming, they are not there right now and you are wasting time. Run 2 to 3 stands a night. Give yourself at least a half mile between stands so you are not calling the same animals twice and educating them. Keep a journal of where you called, what sounds you used, what time of night it was, and what the conditions were. Wind direction, temperature, moon phase. Over time, that journal is going to be the most valuable coyote hunting tool you have because it is going to show you the patterns on your specific piece of ground. Eliminate the coyotes that are eating your fawns, wrecking your turkey program, and running your deer off. Do it systematically. Do it smart. And do it with the confidence that every deer, every turkey, every non-target animal on your property is going to walk away untouched. This system works. I have run it for years, and the difference it has made on the properties I hunt is not subtle, it is dramatic. I want to hear from you guys. If you have coyote stories, if you have had fawns or turkeys wiped out, if you have run a predator management program and seen results, put it down in the comments below. I read every single one of them. This is a community of people who take their hunting seriously, and the knowledge in those comments is real. If you have any questions about any of the equipment I talked about, the calls, the decoys, stand setup, anything, drop them in the comments and I will get back to you. I want to help you put together a system that works for your specific property. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this is going to help you protect your deer herd and your turkeys this season, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already because we are putting out content every single week that is going to make you a more effective hunter and a better land manager. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And as always, God bless. Bye, y'all.